Sonnenberg. I'm from Naples, Florida, originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I studied at Carnegie Mellon University, and I was a painter from the age of 5. I have enjoyed painting all my life. I am now 89 of age, and during that period of life, I have done all phases of art. My mother was an artist, and she was the one who inspired me at the age of 5 because I was an only child. And being an only child, you're looking for ways to make your life better. My father was an industrial engineer with Westinghouse, and we did move a lot. And moving also gives you new atmospheres to work in. And I really appreciated that because I always had an animal to walk with and train. And therefore, your animal takes you to many places too. And I looked at the sewer pipes in Pennsylvania, and it did inspire me. Everybody says, why do you call it sewer pipes? I said, because it's the eyes and ears of the world. And sewer pipes, sometimes arranged like that, do look like you can see the world. Etchings it inspired me to do multi-faceted type of work, because with the etchings, you're reversing your plates. I would reverse my plates 8 times to get multiple images going different directions and different textures. So I had the opportunity with the etchings to employ the same directions in painting, in mixed media paintings. And balancing the two from the etchings, I think, gave me more diversity. I enjoyed etching so much that I didn't realize at the time how toxic they really were. And I wasn't working inside, I was working outside in the snow. So I was living life in the fast track. I thought it was much safer to have the fumes going the opposite direction, and I wouldn't be inhaling them. So this was something I enjoyed because I enjoyed the experimentation of doing something that I thought I was doing very uniquely. And that gave me the inspiration.
No.
I work mostly in mixed media. I like the fact that when you work in the different media, you get reversals, you get textual directions and oppositions. And I love working with many media because you're just getting the balance of all of them. And I've always enjoyed the excitement of doing things differently. I don't always like to work in one direction or one style. I like the adventure. It's kind of the adventure of the moment, what inspires me. I have a 10-pound dog, of my daughter's dog, and she is my inspiration because she likes to go and see all of nature. And right now I'm working a lot with nature. When I travel to Pennsylvania, I'm working in a different direction sometimes because you see different views of the world between the north and the south. And I love to be in both areas because in Pennsylvania, you have more of the industrial look to some of my paintings. Here I have more of the natural outdoors look, which is interesting too because I do love trees and plants and anything that's growing outside. I think sometimes I change and I don't even realize that I'm changing, but I like the experimentation. I like the fact that I'm on an adventure here and up north. And I enjoyed that so much. I'm hoping to go back to Pennsylvania next year, be able to look at wall designs and graffiti and water and all those things that I haven't been able to do here. My father was in the porcelain division of Westinghouse, so he would bring home clay for me. And I enjoyed that because it was something I could do on my own. And I didn't have to be in a particular class. I had the clay from Westinghouse Porcelain Division. And that was very interesting. And then on Saturday mornings, I had a scholarship program at the Carnegie Museum that I attended every Saturday morning from the age of 10. In Pittsburgh, I would take the train from Derry, Pennsylvania, which was in Westmoreland County, to Pittsburgh and Allegheny counties. And I felt very big that I could take the train by myself and take that adventure into Pittsburgh when a lot of kids were traveling like that. Today they wouldn't let the children, but then it was wonderful. And I also, in the summers, from the age of 10, went to pick tobacco in Hartford, Connecticut. So I was doing something that other kids really weren't doing. But I think it had a broadening effect on me. And I love to travel and see new people and new adventures and new outdoors. I enjoyed that so much. Right now, I'm doing a lot of work that's related to my etchings because I enjoyed that element so much because with the reversals of imagery and the compounding and reversals and the texturing. And that part is interesting to me. So I'm working on many paintings like that. And I like to work with textures and pumice. And I love to put the pumice on the canvas and make it very textural and then dig into it because I like that pretty look. Sometimes you already have that with etchings. You're reversing and reversing. At least I thought I was doing something special. I was reversing 8 times, 2 inks on a plate, and then wiping out for 2 more inks, 7 more times. Well, when it sticks on the canvas, and I apply it with my fingers. So my fingers are all full of pumice when I'm finished and trying to get the pumice off. But it does give it that thickness, that texture, that grit that I want in my paintings. I'm not a very big person, and I'm not gritty, and I love everything that's bigger than life and textural. And everybody says, well, why don't you paint smaller? I really like to paint large, and I like the large, gritty look that I don't have. And people will say, well, why do you paint dancers too? I wished I had been able to be a dancer. A lot of things I wanted to do, so I expressed them on canvas. And I think I could make a canvas large and gritty, very different from my personality. I like to fool people thinking that maybe somebody very large painted this painting. But I did work outside of class. And my classroom our studio was never a bona fide studio. It was always a kitchen, a porch, or a back bedroom somewhere. Because raising 4 children, I couldn't really be away in a studio for any length of time. So I became used to working in a studio at home. But that's what inspires my work. And I think that my work spells my life and says a lot about what I have experienced in life. And I've enjoyed working like that. I do not to this day have a studio, but I have a back bedroom. And I can be with the family. I never wanted to be away from family. Well, I think the most important thing for me in the arts too is the fact that I think that people who are productive at my age, who are doing something that you can actually produce and communicate with people, makes you feel like you're in the world, you don't have any mental problems. And I've had to deal in the family with dementia, Alzheimer's, and take care of these people. And I feel that being in the arts has enabled me to go beyond the problems of old age. I think that if you have something realistic, something productive to do on a daily basis, you don't have that feeling of listening to your brain. Your brain develops and expands. And I think art is one of the ways it develops best. And I feel so strongly about that it isn't always the awards, it's the communication and the feeling that people like your work. It gives you a wonderful sense of being in the world, that people communicate like your work. And I think that a lot of people, as they grow older, if they continue with something productive, something beyond puzzles and TV, if they can get out and do something, then give the world something. And I think with art, you're giving the world an art view, something that they can relate to and say, oh, I know what that is. I realize what she's doing. And being an only child, I had to find something that gave me that communication with people. And it was the art all the time. It made me feel like people and I could relate better. I had something and they gave me